weekly dose of politics,
snark, and heavy metal music.
All rise, motherfucker.
For your hosts, Brandon
and Matt.
Hide the rum.
Performer hasn't been provided with a script. As a matter of fact, I have been permitted to choose my own words and discuss my own ideas regarding the choice that we face in the next few weeks. I have spent most of my life as a Democrat. I recently have seen fit to follow another course.
The defense policy of the United States is based on a simple premise. The United States does not start fights. We will never be an aggressor.
As for the peace that we would preserve, I wonder who among us would like to approach the wife or mother whose husband or son has died in South Vietnam and ask them if they think this is a peace that should be maintained indefinitely. There can be no real peace while one American is dying someplace in the world for the rest of us. We're at war with the most dangerous enemy that has ever faced mankind in his long climb from the swamp to the stars. And it's been said if we lose that war, and in so doing lose this way of freedom of ours, history will record with the greatest astonishment that those who had the most to lose did the least to prevent its happening. Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the Founding Fathers.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. You and I must protect and preserve freedom here, or it will not be passed on to our children, and it will disappear everywhere in the world.
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. And this idea that government is beholden to the people, that it has no other source of power except the sovereign people, is still the newest and the most unique idea in all the long history of man's relation to man. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves. Regardless of their sincerity, their humanitarian motives, those who would trade our freedom for security have embarked on this downward course. They knew that governments don't control things. A government can't control the economy without controlling people. And they know when a government sets out to do that, it must use force and coercion to achieve its purpose.
We, the people. We, the people, tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We, the people, are the driver. The government is the car. Almost all the world's constitutions are documents in which governments tell the people what their privileges are. Our Constitution is a document in which we, the people, tell the government what it is allowed to do.
This administration in Washington has betrayed the working men and women of this country.
I hope we have once again reminded people that man is not free unless government is limited. There's a clear cause and effect here that is as neat and predictable as a law of physics. As government expands, liberty contracts.
A recession is when your neighbor loses his job. A depression is when you lose yours. And recovery is when President of the United States loses his.
Someday, when the time comes to deliver the final ultimatum, our surrender will be voluntary, because by that time, we will have been weakened from within spiritually, morally, and economically. The martyrs of history were not fools. Where then is the road to peace? Well, it's a simple answer after all. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the machine. I am Brandon.
And I'm Matt.
And apparently we're already making dick jokes. Like we haven't even, this has got to be a new record. We haven't even started the show yet, and dick jokes are rolling out in the chat. This is going to be fun. D-Man, yes, actually. Only it was a paintball. Even with a cup on, it still gives it a little pinch. Yeah, I was probably the only smart guy there that actually was wearing a cup to the range, and me and one other guy got a cock shot. Well, mine, it just pinched a little bit. Him, we looked over, and he was rolling around on the ground in fetal position for about the next 10 minutes. Well, in his defense, it was about 10 feet away. You know, you're supposed to yell bang, and the guy didn't yell bang. He shot him, and the dude happened to turn, and yeah, right in the pills. He said he actually felt his nuts hit the back of his ass. Anyhow, yeah, so good times. Standard procedure dick jokes. Yes. Oh, don't worry, it's bound to get worse. I mean, we do come up with some other fuckery, and I'm pretty sure me and Matt did before the show, so. So how everybody's doing? You guys are doing okay? I need some, yeah.
Already got you.
Yeah. We've really got to start doing something about our booze fund there, because we're running low.
Yeah.
That shit was supposed to last us, you know, like all the booze was supposed to last us until the next trip in September, and we're not even in the beginning of this year yet, and we're already almost out of booze. Well, glad to see everybody's doing good. Hey, Alan, how you doing? Angie, Matt, Jeremy. Upcoming Tuesday will be your 34th birthday. Oh, you're still a puppy.
That's what I was thinking, too. Youngin'.
Yep. Well, happy birthday early, man.
Cheers.
But definitely. Man, that's such a good. You know what? I think this year, instead of just getting one, I think I might get a couple of those. That was supposed to be the celebration booze.
Yeah.
And we've been using it for celebrating everything we want to celebrate. Like today, we're just because we're here and
we're celebrating.
It's a celebration, bitches. Well, we got a few things to get through. I really didn't get a whole bunch of stuff set up. Sorry, guys. I've been really fucking busy, and most people don't know that it really does take a lot of work to get this set up. Like, it's not just we show up and we do the show. We wait for a full week and filter through the news and see what we want to talk about and what we don't. Some people get mad. They actually get mad because, like, well, you didn't mention this or that. And I'm like, well, it's because we didn't want to. We only have 2 hours with you guys, and we want to do what, you know, we think is correct. And sometimes we just don't have time to get stuff. And then other times it's a slow news week, and then we just get bored. And then we end up looking at Lazy World News and finding fucked up stuff. Oh, yes. I got to fix my hair, too.
No, my cans don't feel right.
Well, neither do mine now. I keep wanting to go Franks and Baines because they're touching my ears. And I can't find my other foamies to make the ears a little bit bigger. I love these cans. They sound absolutely fantastic, but they're the most uncomfortable damn things. It's like the foams have shrunk.
Well, for some reason, it was like just sitting flat on my head, and it bugged the hell out of me.
Well, you know, like I said, like I was telling you earlier, you know, I'm wearing a Ferrari hat right now, okay? Ferrari Formula One hat, not just a fucking Ferrari hat. I'm wearing this hat, and somebody actually said something to me. They're like, why is there a redneck wearing, you know, there's a guy I kind of know him, He's like, why is there a redneck wearing a Ferrari hat? It's like, motherfucker, it's Formula One. I'm a fan of Formula One. Like, well, we just don't have Ferraris around here. Like, bullshit, there's one down the road. He didn't fucking believe me. I said, call this guy. There's one literally sitting down the road. There is one in Taylorville. Nobody knows about it, but it's here. But anyhow, I don't care because it's a Formula One hat. I like Formula One. And I don't really have a favorite team. I mean, I have a preference, but not really a favorite Formula One team. I kind of like them all in one way or another. Who do you think will win the upcoming Grand Prix? I don't know. I was going to ask Peter that, but I don't see Peter in here because it's going to be in his backyard. It's in Australia. To be honest with you, it's probably going to be another 1-2 for Red Bull because their cars are just killers right now. Ferrari might be up on the podium. I'm actually hoping for a miracle to see Daniel Ricciardo, who is from Perth, Australia, to actually place really well. He's one of my... Now, if there was a favorite driver, he's one of them. I really like him. I was totally butthurt, though. I finally, Formula One shit, even shirts and fucking hats and stuff like that's expensive. I wait till the end of the year when everything's like 50, 60, 70% off, and it's still fucking retarded. Finally got me a shirt. I'm like, all right, I'm going to get me a Fernando Alonso shirt. The blue Alpine shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I got it in a large, thinking that's, because I have other racing jerseys, and the larges usually wear big. Ordered it. Came all the way from the UK. Put it on. I look like a toddler.
Fat guy in a little coat.
Yeah, I was like, that's bullshit.
Where the fuck did they have it made at? China?
Dude, I'm telling you, the European large is much different than the American large.
Mm-hmm.
They don't put in Taco Bell and McDonald's into the equation when they put in. Either that or everybody over there is just like toddlers. Because I mean, I put it on and I mean, I got broad shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
I got broad shoulders, big arms, and a huge fucking neck. So when I put it on, I was like, I'm standing there like that. I'm looking at my wife. It's like, looks fucking great, doesn't it? She's like, I can wear it. I'm like, fuck you. Just like standing there, hold on, like, nope. But I got that, and I got several hats because they were really cheap. Most of these hats, dude, this fucking hat was like $65. I got it for $15. That's why I'm wearing it. But I got it, and I think I got Sebastian Vettel retired, but I got Sebastian Vettel's hat, and and a couple other ones that I really wanted to get. Of course, I couldn't get it while he was still driving because I couldn't afford anything. Formula One, if you're listening to this, you're alienating the people. Because if you look at the price of tickets for their races, it's ridiculous. Absolute highway robbery. And you do not get the you're not important to them like IndyCar, as you are important to IndyCar. IndyCar, you can, for a decent, an okay price, you can get a paddock pass, walk around the fucking cars, meet the drivers, stuff like that. Formula One, unless you're a millionaire, you ain't meeting shit. Nosebleed tickets are several $100s. Like, you might be the poor bastard on the fucking back corner that nobody watches, and you get that big screen up there, so you get the car go by for like a split half a second, and then you got to watch the screen for the rest of the time, and you're still paying several $100s, and then your food, and don't buy a shirt, stuff like that. But Angie, I'm offended by their like I said, just alienating the fans. Like, who the fuck pays $70 for a hat?
So, some people out there will.
Right. But, like the race jerseys and stuff like that, most of them around here, $40, $50, $60, maybe
right.
$70 max. If it's a limited edition, maybe $80, $85. You can't even look at a Formula One shirt for less than $100. And that's US, not Euro. Any keepsakes, anything like that, they're fucking keychains. Like, oh, do you want a piece of bodywork from from Aston Martin? It's literally the size of your pinky. It's $50.
You need your right kidney.
Yeah. Even the shitty water bottles that they used to give out to us as kids, with the little squirt bottle top and stuff like that, they still had those, the fucking cheap print ones. Yeah, they're like $30. And then you got to ship that shit from fucking Europe to here. But it's like I want to go to a fucking race. I really do. But no Formula One race comes anywhere near us, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that are here in the States, like I said, you have to pay a kidney. I actually hope that I win the drawing that I put myself into for the Williams team, because you get to meet the Williams team and hang out with them, and it's all expenses paid. They pay for your fucking flight, your hotel, everything.
Nice.
So I'm like, yep, I'm not going to win it, but I'm going to try, because maybe I can get a vacation out of this bitch and go watch some Formula One. And at the shittiest track we have, though, couldn't be over there, like in Texas or anything else like that. No, it's got to be the Florida track. The Florida track is dude. They put boats in a parking lot and they made fake water to make it look like a bay. I'm not joking. Kraken time. Yeah, we're doing some high end bourbon, but awesome. Yeah, that's just 500. Hold on, let me go back up. 500 euros for 2 days at Silverstone. Formula One is kind of elitist. No, they're just out of touch with reality. And we can argue all day long the difference between IndyCar and Formula One. Formula One car is absolutely more expensive as a technological marvel on tires, but the problem is it's not as fast as an IndyCar. And the IndyCar is about a third of the price. And they put on a better show. They're really fucking trying to kill each other. I mean, I'm granted you don't want to see, two $4 million vehicles touch each other and explode into pieces.
Gingerly touch tips.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you fucking breathe near one of those and they get a hole in them. But, but there's that argument. Well, Formula One's better than IndyCar. IndyCar is better than Formula One. I would say that IndyCar is better than Formula One. And for various reasons. One, because of what they do with their fans. They love their fans. They take care of their fans. They actually interact with their fans. They don't put their hoity-toity noses up in the air, stick their pinky out with their little fucking UK, teacup and walk away. They don't shit on you like that. They really want to see their fans. They're not being cycled away. You're allowed to be around the cars. And like I said, as for competition, if you put them side by side, I'm willing to bet that IndyCar would not only be faster, but be more agile in certain points than the Formula One car. The Formula One car basically, I mean, you got to have some talent to drive them. I'm not going to lie, but they're almost to the point now to where they're so technologically advanced that they damn near drive themselves. You point the nose, it goes. But that's why a lot of the Formula One drivers that come over and they have mild success in IndyCar, but they're like, well, you haven't, none of you IndyCar guys have went over there and done Formula One and done anything. Really? Because there's several that actually have. But anyhow, enough about that shit. Well, except for one more thing. I'm going to add something. The sustained speeds. One interviewer was talking to a couple of the Formula One drivers and asked them about IndyCar and said, would you ever drive IndyCar? And one of them said, fuck that. And he's like, why? He's like, it had nothing to do with the car. He's like, who the hell in their right mind is going to go turn left at 230 miles an hour? He's like, it's sustained speed. These guys are barely letting off the throttle. They're doing over 200 plus miles an hour every lap. He's like, we get up to about 180, 185 miles an hour. We slow down for a corner. He's like, these guys are like, nope, fuck that. This track right here, especially, we're going to go 235 miles an hour consecutively. He's like, no, I'm good. That's all he said. He's like, I'm not built for that. But anyhow, enough about that. Me and my racing, and racing season's almost upon us, and I've kind of got a slight chub, to be honest with you. Dirt track is on its way. Let's see. Swedish jingling team. Very funny. Senna is one of my first idols. Actually, I've got a mirror of Senna on the wall that I made myself. It was painful seeing him get taken out that way. I was just a kid then, and I remember it very, very vividly, actually. And that was 1 year after my childhood idol, AJ Foyt, retired. So I was crushed because Formula One, it was Senna. You know, I loved Senna. I love Ayrton Senna, and it was AJ Foyt for IndyCar. And when they both, you know, well, one of them got forcibly retired into a casket. The other one just retired. And I'm like, son of a bitch. You know, this both my favorites are gone. So does IndyCar, Sherman. The IndyCar cockpit is not all that dissimilar. It has a few less buttons, but they still have the crazy controls and the paddle shift, and they have to be in damn good shape to drive those things now anyway. But anyhow, what were we supposed to be doing something today? I remember we came here, we put these things on, and we start talking for something. And
well, I was like, it's break time now.
I'm babbling on fucking about racing. Don't worry, Angie. That smoking shit that you're doing, you're probably gonna whatever we're gonna do for break is probably gonna ruin you anyway. Just gonna be honest with you. Yeah, I wonder where Peter's at, because we got to get Peter in there. I know we got Ian and everybody else, all of my good people. Well, everybody's good people, but you know what I'm saying. All the good people have joined us. Never saw an IndyCar race so far. Hey, Sherman, how about this? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go on YouTube and just type in Indianapolis 500 qualifying 2023, and just look at the speeds. And that's not kilometers per hour, bitch. That's miles per hour. That's freedoms per mile, you know. Whiskey and Coke. Why do you hate the whiskey that bad? What did it ever do to you for you to violate it in such a way? I mean, we like our mixed drinks every once in a while, but it's usually just straight out the bottle, baby. So, Matt, before we get started, do you think we should just go ahead and take a break?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me find it.
Because we're already about 22 minutes in.
Hey, don't get me started about racing, okay? We can talk about it for the rest of the fucking night. I won't even slow down. Did it not? Yep, there it is. Okay, so don't just don't hate us for this.
Just really listen to the lyrics and enjoy this song.
Yeah, you guys are gonna like this.
There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house.
Watch that, certified free. 7 days a week. Wet ass pussy makes that bullet game wait. Wow. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, you fucking with some wet ass pussy. Bring a bucket and a mouth for this wet ass pussy. Give me everything you got for this wet ass pussy. Beat it up, baby, cash a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this pussy right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top, I wanna ride. I do a giggle while it's inside. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. The pussy is wet, come take a dive. Tie me up like a surprise. Let's roleplay, I wear a disguise. I want you to park that big black truck right in this little garage. Make it cream, make me scream. Out in public, make a scene. Why I don't cook, I don't clean. But let me tell you, I got this ring. Gobble me, swallow me, crystal inside of me. Quick jump, pop forward, let you get inside of me. Tell them what to put in, never tell them what to buy to be. Run down on them for a half, baby, run to me. Talk your shit, bite your lip. Ask for a car while ride that dick. You really ain't never gonna fucking run a thing. You already been spying out for a game. Now get your boots and your coat for this wet ass pussy. He bought the phone just for pictures of this wet ass pussy. Pay my tuition just to kiss me on this wet ass pussy. Now make it rain if you want wanna see some wet ass pussy. Look, I need a hard hit, I need a deep stroke, I need a Henny drink, I need a weed smoke. Not a garden snake, I need a king cobra with a hook in it, hoping lead over. He got some money, then that's where I'm headed. Pussy in one, just like his credit. He got a beard, well I'm trying to wet it. I let him taste it, now he diabetic. I don't wanna spit, I wanna go, I wanna gag, I wanna joke. I want you to touch that little dangly dang that's right in the back of my throat. My head gave me fire, but now the sunny is going and dry and it's coming out saggy. I run on the thing like the cup is behind me. I spin on his back, now he's trying to sign me. Your Honor, I'm a free fish, handcuff me, just with my weight, make it feel like a cheating. Put him on the knees, give me something to believe in. Never lost a fight, but I'm looking for a beat. In the food chain, I'm the one that eats you. If you ate my ass, he's a bottom feeder. Big D's have a big demeanor. I can make you bust before I ever meet you. If you don't hang, then you can't bang. You can hurt my feelings, but I like pain. If you fuck me, and that's cool shit. And when I ride the dick, tell me spell my name. Yeah, you fucking with some wet ass pussy. Bring your bucket and a mop for this wet ass pussy. Give me everything you got for this wet ass pussy. Now from the top, make it drop. That's a wet ass pussy. Now get a bucket and a mop. That's a wet ass pussy. I'm talking wop, wop, wop. That's a wet ass pussy. Macaroni in a pot. That's a wet ass pussy.
What you listening to?
The Machine Radio Show.
What did you say? I didn't stutter. I said
The Machine Radio Show.
You just blew my mind.
You're welcome.
Enjoy the show. It's time for a random thought from the Machine Radio Show. This is Brandon from the Machine Radio Show. Isn't sex kind of like playing bridge? If you don't have a good partner, you better have a good hand. This has been your random thought from the Machine Radio Show.
I like vagina.
Hey, I couldn't help it. Sorry, I told you guys it was going to be fucking different. I mean, we're over here dying before we even hit the button. Like, they're going to hate us for this. It's going to be one or two reactions. This is going to be the greatest thing over there, or they're just going to log off altogether and be like, fuck, what the hell? Yeah, it couldn't help it. It just seemed right at the time. So what's the message with that song, I wonder? Well, I don't want to touch down on that. That's for interpretation alone, and that's for you. How's that? But it was just one of those things. We saw it and we're like, this is gonna be good. We're gonna put this on here. You know, the funny thing is, we were actually gonna play Richard Cheese, and then we're like, wait, let's play Leo instead. I think it worked out nicely.
Yeah, Leo was the better choice, at least in the long run.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think it worked out nicely. I like it. Anyhow, we do have some things that we need to get to. We got a few things. We got something from the amazing breathing potato, Alexander Ocasio-Cortez. Illinois High Court reports breathtaking rise in appeals following elimination of cash bail. Appeals Court puts controversial Texas immigration law back on hold. And I finally got a copy of the amicus brief for the Illinois Sheriff's Association about the gun law. So we'll be getting into that too. Yeah, I declined to touch down on it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the show is just going to be like a blind man at an orgy. We're just going to have to feel things out tonight. Anyhow, which one should we go with first?
I don't know, honestly.
I mean, the shortest one would probably be, other than Sherman's Wiener, would probably be the AOC one. But I just slid that right in there.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna see if he notices. We'll give him a minute or two.
Yeah.
Should I start screaming when you get it right then? Possibly. Yes, I picked on Sherman. And I'm waiting.
Angie caught it.
By the way, Sherman, I see that your country somehow does have a slight descended testicle, and they're sending troops to the Ukraine. Just a few thousand, but that's more than what other people have done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, neighbors should have immediately walked in and said, get the fuck out, but they didn't. You used to it. It happens, man. Trust me. All right, so let's just go ahead and open up the AOC one as soon as I find it. All right, so, there's a lot of things going on, obviously, but of course they're trying to file charges against Biden and possibly have him impeached as well for actual crimes that have real evidence, not, a fake dossier written by a Russian KGB sniff. But hey, but she was trying to do her best to go against a lawyer, and the lawyer was just like making fun of her. It was fantastic. But apparently she doesn't know what RICO is, or at least doesn't understand, because he was trying to explain it and at least give her the information on what laws he had broken and what crimes he had committed. And she kept running him over, saying RICO is not a law. We'll just play it.
Is it your testimony today that you personally witnessed President Joe Biden commit a crime?
I believe the fact that he was sitting with me while I was putting together a business
Did you
deal-
witness the president commit a crime? Is it your testimony today?
Yes.
And what crime Have you witnessed?
How much time do I have to go through it?
It is simple. You name the crime. Did you watch him steal something?
Okay, let's back that up a little bit because I like what he said.
You name the crime. Did you watch him steal something?
How much time do I have to go through it?
It is.
How much time do I have to go through it? In other words, there's a lot. And he's trying to explain that, and she keeps stepping over him, and then immediately says that RICO isn't a crime.
Simple. You name the crime. Did you watch him steal something?
Corruption.
Did you watch him steal something? That's the only crime that happens, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it has nothing to do with both money laundering or extortion or.
Statutes, RICO, and conspiracy.
What is the crime, sir?
He just named 5 and wasn't finished, and she's like, "Can you name a crime?" He's like, "Bitch, I just did."
She probably doesn't know the definition of a crime.
Yeah, get this. Hold on, it gets better.
Specifically,
You asked me to answer the question. I answered the question.
No.
RICO, you're obviously not familiar with. Corruption.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. RICO is not a crime. It is a category.
One crazy ass bitch.
What is
It's
the
a category of crimes that you're then charged.
You have charges.
A long 100.
You have charges. Sir, please
to name the
name
exact statute
Sir,
under RICO?
yes.
Well, it's funny. In this committee room, everyone's not here. There's over 8
All right, sir. I reclaim my
lawyers that went to law school.
I
I'll leave
reclaim
it
my
up.
Yeah, he was taking a shit on her. He's like, "Listen," he goes, "It's funny how you suddenly all you went to law school." But he was making a point. You know, he was trying to name him off, and she kept cutting him off as he was naming him off. And she's like, "Well, RICO's not a crime." Yes, actually, anything under RICO is in fact a fucking crime. You dumb ass. Oh, jeez, that woman is such a fucking idiot. But for those of you who don't know, RICO is basically if somebody's going to violate like the RICO law or whatever, because it's not a category. A person must engage in a let's see here. What does it say? A person must engage in a pattern of racketeering activity connected to an enterprise. Oh, gee, you mean like that video where he had the prosecutor fired because he wanted to hold money back?
Yeah.
Yeah. The law defines 35 offenses as constituting racketeering, including gambling, murder, kidnapping, arson, drug dealing, bribery, mail, and wire fraud. And there's many more. There's 35, but those are the main few. But yeah, so it is in fact a crime. It is not a category. It's a crime, and he committed it. Who is she bucking for her job? Well, she was a bartender. I'm fairly certain she was probably giving knobbers in the back, and that's how she got in there.
A broke ass bartender.
Yeah, and now she's a millionaire. Make that make sense. See, Barn, I don't believe that. He says AOC gives $5 BJs under the Brooklyn Bridge. Have you seen the teeth in that thing? That's Mrs. Ed. Yeah. Sorry, but the delicate naughty bits should never go near the chipper shredder that woman's using in her face. No.
You can just hear the chainsaw start up when she smiles.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to chafe. I mean, dude, her teeth are so fucking big, I don't think she can actually open her mouth. Anyhow, yeah. So, but no, this is something I was bringing up. It's the constant fight of like, well, Trump has got all these charges on him. I'm like, okay, where's the evidence? And then you wait, and you're like, well, there's this and that. I was like, no. Where's the evidence? I was like, we've got actual video fucking proof of Biden doing exactly that. Where's the proof? And they wonder why he keeps mentioning the two-tiered justice system. Remember, I talked about this a while back about what Cheryl Atkinson. What's the name of the show that she's on? I forgot, but Full Measure. And on Full Measure, they said that she did a test. They went through and painstakingly looked at other news stations and newspapers and stuff like that, and tried to see if it was really that biased, and it was like not even close. Like it was like 80% or higher, beating up on the former president versus this president, and it's not because he actually did something wrong. It's because that's what they were doing. And she even said, she goes, it was absolutely astonishing the amount of bullshit that they pulled.
Yeah.
And are getting away with. And the worst part is there's fucking idiots out there actually believe it. Is it true that Biden was worth $14 million before he was president? Now he's worth over $50 million. I actually cannot confirm that, and I will not speculate on that, but I wouldn't be surprised. How's that? Is that fair?
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Because we don't have any numbers in front of us. We don't have the that kind of thing right here. So I couldn't say yes, he's actually worth over that. I don't think he really is. I bet he's down to. I mean, if he was worth $14 million, I bet he's down to about $2 million because of his son's cocaine habit. By the way, that still boggles my mind. I mean, think about it this way. The most secure building on the fucking planet, and they can't figure out who left an 8-ball in the White House. In the room that the Bidens happen to be in. I mean, no fingerprints, no video footage of anybody being in and out of there. Not the fact that when they were out on the balcony, his son had cocaine face. Yes, you can look that up. Cocaine face is a real thing. But, I mean, literally billions of dollars in fucking security in that building, and they couldn't find out who left the fucking line on the bathroom sink.
You think that would be something that they would want to would have wanted to keep under wraps and not let out into the media?
Well, exactly, but just think about it though. I mean, think about the just let that roll around in your head. There's an 8-ball of coke in a room that only the fucking Bidens have been in, and they don't know whose it was. What, did Jill Biden drop an 8-ball out of her fucking 80-year-old mitt? What? Did that 8-ball that never mind. Surprise. There's an 8-ball in the fucking White House. Oh shit. We just dropped numbers. Apparently nobody liked us talking about the Bidens and their coke habits. It was Parmesan. Yeah. Colombian Parmesan. But seriously, I mean, like I said, they were out on the balcony. This was live television. This wasn't a fucking doctored video because there is a lot of deepfakes out there. And I'm going to say that don't fucking fall for that shit. Always verify every bit of information that you get. Because these deepfakes are getting really fucking good. Really good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that on both sides. Don't fall into that trap. But I mean, it was live fucking television when they were out there waving on the balcony. And Hunter was like, "That's cocaine face." He's looked like a motherfucker from Total Recall. But 2 weeks. Yes, I watched that movie the other day. I had to watch it again. The old one. The fucking new one was boring.
I have not seen the new one yet.
The only bonus was the woman with 3 tits was still in it. And even that was boring. I mean, that wasn't... When I first saw that movie, I'm like, oh, well, she got 3. Interesting. It wasn't like because you knew it was prosthetic and fake, obviously. You're not going to be like, oh, that's nice. I was just like, okay, so they got creative and gave her 3. But the new movie, same thing. And you're like, okay, whatever. Yeah, Christine, I forgot about that. Same here. France rumors say that Macron takes some of that Colombian Parmesan too. Yeah, but he's usually snorting it off of the neighbor's dick. So there's that. I loved how he tried to hint it was found near Kamala's parked car. Like he was trying to blame her. Yeah, do you remember that? That was actually Hunter, too. I just watched a YouTube video saying Rakan's wife is a man. It's possible, but I'm fairly certain that guy's snorting coke off of Germany's dick. I'm just saying, he seems like he would. Anyhow, moving right along. I don't know, you know, what do you guys actually make of all this? I mean, seriously. And I'm not bringing up because I love how they do that. They're like, oh, you're just bringing up Trump because you're a Trump fanatic. No, actually, I'm not. I'm not a fucking politician fanatic, period. But it's obvious. They make it obvious. I mean, they spent, his entire presidency trying to say he was guilty of crimes, and then they couldn't fucking do anything with him. They couldn't even find evidence to actually prove that there was any sort of crime. They're like, well, the classified documents, he was president of the United States. He had them declassified. He can actually have those. They were his.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. See, Biden was not president when the paperwork they found in his fucking garage next to the Corvette and in his other law office that's been abandoned for years, for like a decade. Yeah, see, that stuff was stuff that he wasn't supposed to have even as vice president or as senator, and he did. Again, actual crime. And I do believe that would be U.S. Title Code 18, Section 793, right?
I believe so.
Which is? Say it. Say the line.
Gross negligence.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What was that again?
Gross negligence.
Oh, that's what that was?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so there's that. And then, of course, you got, like we said, the whole Ukraine thing where he was extorting the country, where he said, you're not going to prosecute my son or you don't get your $2 billion. And he said it on fucking national television for everybody to see. But let's worry about, whether or not the fake dossier that was proven completely fake is actually Trump's problem and try to impeach him twice over nothing. Oh, inciting an insurrection.
Fucking,
we got
so sick of hearing that.
We've got to we got to get rid of him because he incited an insurrection. What insurrection? You got a bunch of idiots and walking through velvet ropes, and one of them took a shit on Pelosi's desk. Wow, that's an insurrection. Not only that, there was never emails, text messages, voice activated shit, anything else like that, or nothing that he said anything remotely like, let's go take over this building.
Yeah.
In fact, I was watching that motherfucker live. And
I was watching that live too.
Yeah, and you remember he said we're going to go down to the Capitol and cheer our people on.
Yeah.
Did you hear anywhere where he said we're going to go down to the Capitol, break into the fucking building, and try and stop the election?
And shit on Pelosi's desk. No, he did not say that.
No, he didn't. But this is the modern Democrat Party we're talking about, the progressive, the feels peoples. Evidence doesn't matter. It's just what they feel.
Mm-hmm.
Just period what they feel. And here in the House of Parliament, too. Oh, sweet. I did. Yep. I do got another one. A new song. And it's not like the last one.
It's not WAP?
Nope. Nope, it's definitely not that one again.
Hey lefties, liberals and progressives, this is not a safe space. I repeat, this is not a safe space.
If you are one of those squishies who are easily offended, put on your safety pins, pussy hats, and leave this radio station. Or you can free yourself and get educated.
Well, hell yeah! I tried to twist him up, but he wouldn't have it. Hell no! This old boy's wow! We about to have to keep this one.
You are listening to the Machine Radio Show with your hosts, Brandon
and Matt.
Talking about a bunch of hobos with fingers in each other's pooper in a stranger's car with talk radio playing really loud. It's going to be a nice evening.
Okay, shit just got real weird. I think I'm going to need a safe space.
What the? Are those friends of yours, Matt?
Oh, hell no.
Are you sure?
Oh, shut your dumpster and start the show already.
Well, all right, pissy pants. Let's do everything you want to do. And we're back, and I completely forgot to get this, but, Barn, he says our government is one big friggin' shit show, laughing stock of the world, kind of. The people aren't, the government is. I can't believe I and so many others swore our lives to defend these shameless criminals. Yeah, well, somebody's got to do it, because they sure as hell ain't going to do it themselves. But, you're talking about that, and the state of Illinois, of course, is nothing short of a controversial shit show. But Illinois Republicans talk public safety because now the reason why they're saying talking about public safety. Get this, okay? First, he wants non-citizens to be able to be police officers. So we're going to have non-English speaking people who aren't even a, legal citizen having a gun and a badge. Now he's the same. Court that said that they're okay to ban all of our firearms or do whatever the fuck they want, has said that illegals, and yes, I'm saying it. Hey, look at me right now. Look right here. Right here. Illegals. Not non-citizens. Illegals. Wants to give them the right to own firearms. How are they going to do that when they have to be a citizen to be able to get the FOID card in the state of Illinois to own a firearm? But the same court that says, the Second Amendment doesn't encompass anything, is the same people that say, well, we're going to allow the people who aren't even here legally to own a firearm. So you can be a felon and now have a firearm. I think that should change precedent. I think anybody who gets out of prison should now be able to own a firearm because of that. That's fine. If the Second Amendment encompasses people who are fucking here to probably try and kill somebody, I'm not saying all of them. That's bullshit. A lot of people, there's been people, especially on, if we have a side, our side, that say that all the illegals that are coming over here are just trying to, they're gonna rape and pillage and kill, and that's not absolutely true at all. But you're giving people who have come into the country illegally a firearm. You're asking for calamity because a lot of these military-aged males from other countries that aren't Hispanic are now going to be able to fucking get a gun. Meanwhile, they're like, hey, guess what? You're a legal citizen? Fuck you. You can't have one. Am I wrong?
Nope. It's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's seriously, Judge Sharon Johnson Coleman, the one that ruled against us, ruled earlier this month that a Mexican man who was living in the U.S. illegally had a constitutional right to own a firearm for self-defense, even though we aren't.
He don't have any constitutional rights until he becomes a citizen.
Right.
Fuck him.
He has no rights. He's not here. He doesn't exist. But there's, it's fucking California. What do you expect? And like I said, I've got the amicus brief now. I finally got a copy of it. It took them this long to get it to me. From the Sheriff's Association about the gun law. The gunny banny thingy that nobody's going to abide by. The illegals can't do anything better than our government rapes and pillages. Precisely. I want to laugh. Look at what's leading the Canadian government. You mean just Janik Trdovich? The guy who that quite literally shit his pants in front of the premier of, the Chinese dictator.
Mm-hmm.
Like he literally shit his pants. It wasn't as soon as they cornered him, he actually did squeeze his cheeks and walk away. It was fucking hilarious. That guy. Taking our guns so they can arm illegals. You're right. That's what they have planned. But, let's see. I'm not going to get into brief yet. Let's just talk about this, okay? Do you think this is a good idea?
What's that?
That they want to give firearms to people who aren't even citizens.
Fuck no.
Do you think it's a good idea to give it?
They shouldn't even have voting rights. They shouldn't have any rights that a citizen has until they become one.
Well, why do you think they want licenses for illegals? Because in the state of Illinois, what happens?
They get voting rights, and then they can vote Democrat.
If you give them a license, with your licensing package, you get an automatic voter ID card. Mm-hmm. So it's licensed to vote. That's what it is. But now they want to give them firearms and let them be police officers. And by the way, like I said, I keep saying this over and over and over again. Oh, you're just, I've heard that you're racist against the Mexicans. It's like, do you know how many different people come to the fucking border? Did you know that there's a large influx of Chinese coming through that border?
There's a lot of them coming through.
Or let's not forget the old ploy that you come over here 9 months pregnant, have the kid here, you're a naturalized citizen. The Russians figured that out. They've been doing that for years. But this is insane. But like I said, I like seeing what the state of Illinois Sheriff's Association had to say about this. I mean, it's a few pages long, but I think it's important that we actually read it, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, this is the amicus brief in the case of which one is this? Is it Barnett? I believe it's Barnett versus Scummy O'Toole. Yeah, Caleb Barnett versus Scummy O'Toole. The Illinois Sheriff's Association, the ISA, submits this amicus brief in support of plaintiffs. In other words, not on the side of the government, on the side of the people. They submit this amicus brief in support of the plaintiff's motion for preliminary injunction against HB 5471. The ISA represents the sheriffs in Illinois who are tasked with implementing the laws of the state because of their regular interactions with the members of the public. Member sheriffs are regularly the face of the laws that Illinois legislature enacts. The peace officers take pride in protecting the citizens of the state through the enforcement of its laws, and in doing so in a manner that simultaneously respects the rights and fucking privileges of the law-abiding citizens, not the illegals, across the state. Because actions that interfere with the rights of the law-abiding citizens, particularly rights enshrined in the United States Constitution, create conflicts and are contrary to the fundamental objectives of law enforcement. They impede law enforcement officers' ability to work respectfully with and among members of the public in the enforcement of laws necessary to protect and enhance the communities they serve. This is just page 1. And so far, we're off to a good fucking start now, aren't we? Now, let me remind you guys that there's 102 counties in the state of Illinois. 96 out of 102 told this government to go fuck themselves. like very quickly. Like I said, we will not enforce this. And that includes the state's attorneys. So thank you for finally having a backbone, even if it's just for a short period. Let's see. Guess I'll rock on to page 2. The passage of HB 5471 creates just such a conflict. As described in more detail in plaintiff's motion for preliminary injunction, outlaws the manufacture, sale, and purchase of both long guns and semi-automatic pistols, swept into the statute's broad definition of assault weapons within the next year. HB 5471 also bans possession of such firearms unless the owner possessed them before the statute was enacted and registers them. Even for registered firearms, however, the statute places substantial limitations on the owner's possession of them. It also bans any large capacity ammunition feeding device, which includes magazines with a capacity of more than 10 rounds for long guns and more than 15 rounds for handguns. The ISA supports efforts to make Illinois and all citizens safe, but also recognizes that those efforts must be within the bounds set by the Constitution. HB 5471 crosses those bounds, and in doing so, demands the sheriffs enforce a law that deprives the law-abiding citizens they serve of their constitutional right to keep and bear arms for lawful purposes, including sport and self-defense. Yes, those two go hand in hand. Because law enforcement should never be compelled to violate the constitutional rights of Illinois citizens, the ISA supports plaintiffs' action to enjoin the implementation of HB 5471 and have the statute declared unconstitutional. Since 1928, the ISA has been dedicated to improving public safety, working to assist Illinois' 102 sheriffs with training, communication, and necessary resources for them to serve local communities more efficiently. Counting more than 40,000 Illinois citizens, businesses, business leaders, law enforcement personnel, and members, the ISA works with the sheriffs to help them meet the rigorous demands and requirements for law enforcement in today's world. The ISA is dedicated to upholding each sheriff's right to perform the sworn duty to serve and protect Illinois citizens. As a part of its efforts, the ISA promotes sound legislation to help its law enforcement officers better serve the public. As the legislative voice of frontline sheriffs through the country, throughout Illinois, through the country, I fucked that up. The ISA opposes interference with constitutional right of law-abiding citizens to own and possess the firearms banned by HB 5471. Moreover, it recognizes that any law which compels its law enforcement members to take actions contrary to those citizens' rights harms law enforcement, standing in the communities and making their mission of protecting and enhancing Illinois communities more difficult. I've still got more pages, guys. I'm sorry, I want to read this whole thing. Is that okay, or should I stop? Fine. I'm sorry, I forgot to send you a copy, or else we'd be bouncing back and forth. Because I didn't necessarily want to have to read the whole thing.
Right.
One moment, got to get some get the bourbon and nicotine. They already set illegals up with driver's licenses and healthcare and housing, so gun ownership is one of the many next rights they will test. Of course, illegals will be the deep state's first line. Well, we already knew that. It's called voter. Was it fucking? Well, we might as well just call it voter replacement. That's exactly what they're doing. They are replacing us with them. And make no mistake, that's exactly what they're doing. A little bit of bourbon. And off we go with the next paragraph. It says HB 5471 is an obvious violation of the Second Amendment. No fucking shit. It was also written with a toddler's understanding of firearms. The Second Amendment to the United States Constitution preserves the right of the people to keep and bear arms and declares the right shall not be infringed. U.S. Constitution Amendment, to District of Columbia. Yeah, that's Columbia versus Heller. I'm like how they threw that in there. The Supreme Court made abundantly clear that a ban on possession of handguns, an entire class of arms that is overwhelmingly chosen by American society, which is like the M4, the AR-15, stuff like that, runs afoul of the constitutional provision. The Heller Court also made clear that the Second Amendment's protections apply even to firearms that did not exist when the Constitution was adopted. No fucking shit, because the Founding Fathers in infinite wisdom made sure that this was a single sentence with an Oxford comma, so that way the idiots would understand, and apparently we just can't figure that out. They also talked about this in great length in the Federalist Papers, the Anti-Federalist Papers, and several other publications. The Heller Court also made it clear that the Second Amendment's protections applied to even firearms that did not exist when the Constitution was adopted, so long as that they are commonly used today for legal purposes by law-abiding citizens. Hello, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I own those. I did. I don't have them no more. They disappeared. I'm turning one into a lamp. It's a broken one. But I'm turning one into a lamp. Noting the Second Amendment's protection to any weapon commonly used today. Yeah, we know that. Let's see. Adopted them, whether or not further legislation. Yes, even future judges think the scope too broad. Plaintiff's motion establishes the fact that the firearms and magazines banned in HB 5471 are commonly used today by law-abiding citizens for lawful purposes. Thus, the state's outright ban of those firearms is directly contrary to Heller and cannot stand. Ezell versus City of Chicago. I remember that one too, which is Heller and McDonald. Also Heller and the McDonald bill too, which Mr. McDonald passed away a few years ago. Suggests that broadly prohibitory laws restricting the core Second Amendment right, like the handgun bans at issues in those cases, which prohibited handgun possession even in the home, are categorically unconstitutional. Well, no fucking shit. Even assuming that the Second Amendment only presumptively applies to the sale, purchase, and possession of the firearms and an effective, motherfucker, I can't speak. I need more bourbon. And affected by HB 5471, the state would still be required to justify its regulation by demonstrating that it is consistent with the nation's historical tradition on firearm regulations, which is not. See Bruin. I will put that out there myself. Bruin. Yet, as detailed in the plaintiff's motion, Doc 10 at 1214. Okay. I don't know what that's supposed to be. I think that's just the number of the bill. The section of the bill. Mm-hmm. Although semi-automatic firearms have long been available to and popular with the public, prior to the late 1980s, only a handful of states imposed serious restrictions on such firearms. Within the framework recognized by Bruin, the regulatory efforts were either too little or too late to constitute a historical tradition of firearms regulations that could overcome the presumption that such regulations are prohibited by the Second Amendment. Yeah, I'm now regretting having to read all this. I don't want to bore everybody, but I figured it was something important because it's a copy of a legal standing. Let's see. Striking down HB 5471 avoids enforcement of facially unconstitutional prohibitions regarding firearms. As demonstrated in the prior section, HB 5471's complete ban on an entire class of firearms is facially unconstitutional and ignores the consistent treatment of the Second Amendment by the Supreme Court since Heller nearly 15 years ago. It is a conspicuous nature of the bill that conflict. Holy fuck, Brandon. It is a conspicuous nature of HB 5471's conflict with the Second Amendment that not only justifies a preliminary injunction as a matter of course, but also which makes such relief significant for law enforcement officers. The sheriffs represented by the ISA unquestionably share a commitment to the rule of law in Illinois, but the rule of law first and foremost starts with the United States Constitution. In fact, sheriffs are required to take an oath. Everybody's to take that oath. To take an oath prescribed by the Illinois Constitution. It begins with the affirmation, I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States. Police officers across Illinois commonly take the oath because they have to. Let's see. When the Supreme Court ruled that the Second Amendment's prohibition on the infringement of the right to keep and bear arms applied to the states under the 14th Amendment, the court found it clear that the framers and ratifiers of the 14th Amendment counted the right to keep and bear arms among those fundamental rights necessary to our system of ordered liberty. The concept of ordered liberty is fully consistent with the fundamental objectives of the law enforcement members of the ISA, balancing the rules and limitations created by the state laws with the principle of the individual liberty that underpins society. And the Second Amendment provides the overarching guideline for how that balance must be achieved with respect to firearms. Interesting. There's still 2 more pages. Son of a bitch. One moment. Breath. Gotta breathe, man. Okay. Because the citizens of Illinois justifiably look to law enforcement officials to conduct themselves in a manner that respects their individual rights, those officials standing and authority in their they weird this weird sometimes. Yeah. I think they screwed that up. It should be standing in authority. It says standing and authority in their communities is compromised when they are challenged to enforce a facially unconstitutional law. This is particularly true where the statute at issue, like HB 5471, directly and significantly interferes with a recognized fundamental motherfucker. I can't talk. Fundamental constitutional right. This harms the public perception of law enforcement, which makes their critical jobs even harder to perform at a time when they are otherwise working to demonstrate their commitment to the recognition and protection of the rights of Illinois citizens. It is the open and obvious disregard of the Second Amendment's reach that puts law enforcement officials in an untenable position and justifies immediate relief through preliminary injunction against the enforcement of the bill. Finally, the popular narrative is that banning the sale, purchase, and possession of assault weapons is a necessary step to fight against crime. But the purported justification for the legislative restriction on firearms does not come into play in a straightforward application of the Second Amendment. Of course, going back to the Bruin. There can be no independent means in scrutiny under the guise of analogical inquiry, sorry. The fundamental protection afforded by the Second Amendment does not allow for bypassing the protection simply because the government thinks that is the better approach. Moreover, even if a balancing of the strength of the right against the state, goddamn, I can't, dude, this is driving me nuts. My eyes are bouncing all over the place. The stated need for the restriction was appropriate. The purported rationale for imposing the ban of this class of firearms is not well supported. Indeed, while the prevalence of firearms that would come within HB 5471's ban has been increasing, the number of violent crimes in Illinois has steadily decreased. In 1991, the Illinois violent crime rate was 1,039 per 100,000. While that number had dropped to 404 per 100,000 in 2018. At the same time, even looking at murders committed with firearms in 2020, only 3% of those were committed with rifles, of which assault weapons were only a subset. They were less than 1%. Didn't we not talk about this years ago where I broke this down?
Yeah.
In the end, even if the court could properly consider a means-end analysis, the analysis would not justify the broad restrictions of HB 5471. Perhaps this is why research shows more than 2/3 of police officers in the United States in the United States oppose so-called weapons bans. The ISA agrees that with those police officers that these restrictions on the exercise of fundamental constitutional rights of law-abiding citizens cannot be justified by the misuse of these firearms by criminals. There you go. And I'm spent. Holy fuck, that was a lot to talk. I've read longer, but like I said, I want to read that as a whole because I want you guys to hear it. I will keep a copy of it, and I will make sure that it is up on the machine. How's that? So everybody can have a copy. That work?
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, I'll make sure to make a note of that tomorrow and get that set up. Bugging out. You're already bugging out. You're always bugging out. You come in late and you bug out early. It's rude, dude. Biggest problem is we forget where we are from. We were once Vikings, Mongols, natives, Scots, Peruvians, Russians. The fighting spirit has been bred out of us.
I don't think it's been bred out of us. I think most people don't take the time to listen to their ancestors. More people are concerned about, I've got to work in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
That's why most people aren't going to go to war or try to help save this country. It's because I got to work in the morning.
Yeah, I don't. I can't necessarily agree with that, Born. I'm sorry. Because the fighting spirit has definitely not been bred out of us, at least not with the old guard.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Or like George Carlin said, we like war. We're warlike people. Even with all the bullshit going on, at least militarily, even with all the bullshit going on in the stress cards and stuff like that, we're still the most formidable force on the fucking planet. I'm gonna say that it's not a line like China tried to swing dick and say that their navy was bigger, and we showed them the numbers by tonnage. Like, oh yeah, you got more boats, but that's because you're counting every fucking dinghy that floats in the ocean as a military vessel. The only problem is even adding all those together, our fucking tonnage is millions of tons heavier than yours. We've got a much larger navy, and our boats are much more badass. Yeah. And let's not forget, you got the United States fucking Marines. You got the Army. You got the Army. You got the Green Berets and Delta Force and fucking Navy SEALs and the Air Force PJs and the fucking A-10 Warthog, and yeah, we're swinging a much bigger dick. We don't sling it out as much as we used to, but I can't say that the fighting spirit has left us. I don't even think it's waning. I think it's just hidden.
Yeah. I like Matt's comment. It says Mike Tyson still has the fighting spirit for sure, and he's 57.
Why did somebody bring that up? I don't care about the fight. I really don't, because it still shows that Jake Paul can't fight anybody worth a shit. And I don't mean that against Mike Tyson, because Mike Tyson, I wouldn't want to get punched by the motherfucker at 57.
If you watched him still train at 57,
dude, he would knock my ass into
scary as shit.
He would knock my ass into childhood real quick. I'd be remembering what I ate for breakfast at age 5.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is he's still 57 years old. He's 30 fucking years past his prime. And Paul's like, he's like, dude, if he breathes on you, he's going to knock you the fuck out, for one. But two, you're still showing that you're only fighting has-beens, that you'll never fight anybody worth anything. The one time he did, he fought the Gypsy King's son. The Gypsy King's son has no fucking, he's not his dad. He's not near as talented as his dad at all. And he's only had maybe a couple amateur fights. They put him in there and he beat the brakes off fucking Paul. And I'm saying that, I've watched a few of those fights, and especially the highlights. Some motherfuckers are taking a dive. You can tell. I mean, some of them it's actually obvious. I mean, he even has a tell sign to tell him it's time to drop. It's all about the money.
Yeah,
that's all it is. They'll take a dive for the money. But either way, like I said, I would not want to fucking get punched by Mike Tyson, not even now. Unless, of course, they want to pay me the kind of money that they're paying Jake Paul. Then I'll take a fucking ass whipping. I won't even fucking train. I'll just get in there and be like, punch me, bitch. I'm like, and then when I remember how to speak English again, we'll go out and have a drink. Oh, I hope he does, right in the fucking neck. And he says he's not allowed to bite this time. You know what's funny is those two motherfuckers still to this day tease each other about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, remember that one year on Valentine's Day they did a commercial? Had nothing to do with anything. It was just them two idiots talking to each other, and Tyson hands him a chocolate ear. Yeah. I was like, seriously. Well, I can agree with that, Barn, and just like in life in general, okay. Even with with not just the oath to fight or anything else like that. I'm just talking about being a person in general. Just remember one thing specifically: a wounded animal can still bear teeth, can still fight, and still be dangerous. Everybody should remember that. Everybody should remember that every person is very capable, regardless of who they are. Doesn't matter how old or broken they are. The fight hasn't left the fucking dog yet. And that should be just burned into people's heads. I mean, am I wrong?
Mm-mm.
I mean, like I said, a wounded animal is still combat effective.
Yeah.
Let's see. What haven't I played for a while? It just seems like something we should play. Feeling this one.
Imposter of the throne, you don't convince a thing. Mine are unrelenting.
Who out of here?
I am the machine.
What?
I'm the machine!
Okay.
You are listening to The Machine Radio Show.
Not your daddy's conservative talk radio.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
I'm the machine! Fuck that bitch. This is America! Fuck yeah! Tonight you party with us, yes?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Skate.
And we're back. And like I said, sorry about how long it took to read that, but I wanted it just like I did one of the other bills. I wanted to read it in its entirety for you, and then I will make sure you can reach out and get copies as well, because it's important. Because this is not just the state of Illinois. If Illinois can do this, then other states can too. And this is information that everybody in the states should have, and I would say even our people from across the globe. I do believe they should know about it too. Because maybe, who knows, maybe our fight can help theirs. Because there's several countries out there that have done the same. And I like how they say, oh yeah, this works. See, look what it did. This guy, motherfucker, they're out there stabbing bitches now.
Mm-hmm.
They're running people over with cars. And by the way, how did it work out when those terrorists walked in with fully automatic AKs and just tore ass through a place because nobody was there to stop them? But what do we know? There's a very specific reason why nobody's ever successfully invaded the United States, at least not militarily. I appreciate that, Matt. You can read that if you want.
Yeah, as long as I can read it past this emoji crap. See, Matt says, no need to be sorry. Public information. You're doing a good service to your countrymen.
Well, if you count telling dick jokes and playing WAP as a public service, then I'm your guy. We're your people. Oh, can't believe I added that song to the rotation, but it just felt right. Next up, we'll probably throw in some Richard Cheese or maybe Dr. Dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what else do we got? Oh yeah, the fucking border. This one I'll let you get in on. This one you're going to read because I don't want to read it. You already got it, right?
I believe so.
And it's coming from CNN. So take it with a grain of salt because it's coming from CNN, but it needs to be read because there's some things that we need to mention about this as well.
Let's see. Appeals court puts controversial Texas immigration law back on hold. Let's see what they say about this. Federal appeals court late Tuesday night put Texas controversial immigration law back on hold hours after the Supreme Court had cleared the way for the state to begin enforcing the measure. Outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
In a brief order, a 3-judge panel at the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals voted 2-1 to wipe away a previous ruling from a different panel that had temporarily put the law, which would allow state officials to arrest and detain people they suspect of entering the country illegally, into effect.
Imagine that. Go ahead.
It is an election year.
Mm-hmm.
The panel of judges that issued Tuesday night's order is already set to hear arguments with Wednesday, which would have been yesterday, on Texas' request to put the law, Senate Bill 4, back into effect pending the state's appeal of a federal judge's block on the law. One member, Circuit Judge Andrew Oldham, publicly dissented, saying he would let the law remain in effect for now. He wrote, I would leave that stay in place pending tomorrow's oral argument on the question. Regardless of how the Fifth Circuit acts following Wednesday's arguments, the appeals court will still hold arguments next month over whether the law is unconstitutional and should be blocked indefinitely.
How is it unconstitutional?
That's what I was just thinking. How?
It cannot possibly be unconstitutional if you're picking up people who are not supposed to be here and sending them back.
Yeah, isn't that what illegally means?
Right. Go ahead.
The legal jockeying over SB 4 had made its way all the way to the Supreme Court, which earlier Tuesday cleared the way for the measure to go in effect after the justices rejected emergency appeals from the Biden administration and others. The decision had handed a significant yet temporary win to Texas, which has been battling the Biden administration over immigration policy.
Yet the Biden administration keeps saying, "Well, we're doing the greatest job ever. Nobody's ever done a job as good as we have," and yada yada yada. No, but go ahead.
Hours later, the appeal court scheduled oral arguments over whether to block the law while it considers the legal challenges to it. The court set Wednesday's virtual, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oral argument for 11 a.m. Eastern. SB 4, signed into law by Republican Governor Greg Abbott in December, makes entering Texas illegally. Hold on a minute. Go away. Sorry. Makes entering Texas illegally a state crime and allows state judges to order immigrants to be deported. Immigration enforcement generally is a function of the federal government.
Yeah, but when the federal government does nothing, the states must.
Yeah. The law immediately raised concerns among immigration advocates of increased racial profiling, as well as detentions and attempted deportations by state authorities in Texas, where Latinos represent 40% of the population. Federal judge in Austin had blocked the state government from implementing the law, holding last month that it, quote, could open the door to each state passing its own version of immigration laws, end quote. The Supreme Court's 3 liberal justices also raised concerns over the law as they dissented from the High Court's order that permitted it to take effect for a short period on Tuesday.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah, read next.
Justice Sonia
Sotomayor,
whose dissent was joined by fellow liberal Justice Ketanji
Brown Jackson,
said the order, quote, invites further chaos and crisis in immigration enforcement.
What enforcement?
Yeah. Let's see. She also said it upends the federal-state balance of power that has existed for over a century, in which the national government has had exclusive authority over entry and removal of non-citizens.
Here's the one thing that they're leaving out of this entire article, because you know it is CNN.
Mm-hmm.
The state of Texas, like every other state in the United States, has the actual legal authority to protect their citizens at all costs by any means necessary. This is one of those means.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, while they're doing this and saying it's unconstitutional, they're wanting to allow the illegals to just flood the country. There's actually a riot going on in El Paso. And guess what? It's not legal citizens that are rioting.
Go figure.
Interesting, right?
So there's a good chance this case could soon make its way back up to the Supreme Court.
Can we just how about we do this instead of busing them to New York and stuff like that, which is, by the way, a boss move in a way? How about we just send them to Canada? And I'm not talking like just over the border in Canada. I'm like talking like the fucking northern part of Canada.
Oh, are you talking about way up northern part of Canada?
Mm-hmm. The most sparsely populated area. We'll just put them up there. I bet after a couple of days of that frozen shit, they'd be like, you know what? We're going back to wherever the hell we came from.
Yep.
Just saying, because it's too cold. I'm waiting for one of our listeners to go, no, not here. Please, not here. But But this just getting ridiculous. I mean, there really is. There's a riot going on at the fucking border as we speak. It's been hitting off and on all fucking day. There's video footage of it everywhere. And here we are going, oh well, we don't think you should be allowed to I don't know, round them up and deport them, because that would be a terrible thing to do. Every country has borders. Every country has a port of entry. We talked about this before. Try to be illegal in Mexico. First time, they ship your ass back. Second time, they put you in prison. Wasn't it like the third time or the fourth time they actually just fucking kill you?
Yeah. Yeah, they don't fuck around. Most other countries do not fuck around with you.
Yeah, that is actually on the list of things to do. Is okay, they broke in here illegally and tried to live here illegally that many times. Off with your head. I'm not advocating for us to do the same. I'm just saying that, there's a reason why we have borders. There's a reason why we have ports of entry. And it does have to do with safety of the American citizens. And indeed the citizens from around the world. I don't see why that's such a big fucking issue. Oh, D-Man responded. D-Man says, nope, no fucking way unless you take Trudeau and Freeland. No, you heard what I said. I just want to put him up in the sparse Great White, the Great White North, way the fuck up in the top of Canada, where nobody is. And be like, here, free land, figure out what to do with it. Enjoy. Nobody's lived here in thousands of years, but go ahead. But as for taking Trudeau and Freeland, no, we would like to actually ship those guys probably to North Korea. Seems like a good spot for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Texas has it in their state constitution that should the union act unlawfully, they may secede from the union. Yeah, I know. And sometimes I wish they would. Actually, I think we should take the entire Midwest and just turn it into its own country and let the outlying shitbags do their own thing. Well, I've solved the UK illegals and the boats invest in sharks. Well, we tried to put alligators on the border, but apparently that's a bad thing to do too. Flood the river with alligators. Enjoy the meal. Plenty of it. I still like the old medieval ways thing though. Like where we're talking about doing a trebuchet and a catapult.
Mm-hmm.
Like they jump over the fence, they land on the catapult, it immediately shoots them back over the border. But here's the thing: I'm not a sadist. I don't want them to like over the border, like and smash into the land or on top of some poor bastard's hut. No, I'm talking about just launching them just hard enough to where they hit the river. And by the way, these things have an auto reset. Once it flips them up and flips them over, it sucks itself back to the ground and does it again. And I'm talking every fucking post. Make the pads where they're within an inch of each other so they all touch.
Mm-hmm.
And each one of the posts in the fence line is actually the trebuchet. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I see what you're saying.
So you got rapid fire fuckery. If a whole bunch of them decide, well, we're going to try up and down the fence, and and see what happens. They all land on the pads. And by the way, when that thing fucking comes up and does that, it stops at the top of the fence. So if they do try to jump over, if they try to figure out, the next group can be like, okay, those guys got flipped in. We can hurry up and jump over before it resets. No, fuck you. Yeah, there's a lot of things we could do that would be interesting. We have ideas. Terrible ideas, but we have ideas nonetheless. Holy shit. Sorry, I'm flipping through our shit here. I'm actually trying to remember what the hell we've played in the last few weeks. I don't know why, but it's just, yeah.
these fucking guys?
The Machine Radio Show.
So hot right now.
Don't shove it up.
Showtime.
Welcome to Thunderdome, bitch.
Oh, they're not stupid. They're not full of shit. They're fucking nuts.
Whatever, dumbass.
This is to experiment. Fuck you, buddy. What the problem is?
Because Dickon.
Oh, the baddest shitheads.
You know, I love them.
Join the show, motherfucker!
You know, I really need to put that on like the TikTok. just put the photo of the machine on there and just let it roll. Last one, I mean, people were like, "That's awesome." The only problem is I'm being so badly algorithmed on there now that even any video that I do, no matter which one it is, the maximum is like 200 views. It stops it. What they want me to do is they want me to fucking pay them, and I'm like, I'm not gonna pay you shit. I mean, think about it. If you look at my count, if you go down to the bottom from when I started, you're talking like viral video like views, like almost 1 million views on things. 400,000, 500,000, almost 1 million, stuff like that. And then all of a sudden it's like 200 is the max that I get. I'm like, yeah, you're not making this obvious at all. When I was a kid, we were so poor, Mom would cut our pockets out so we'd have something to play with. I did it with pockets. I was perfectly fine with touching my petter.
It's a long, smooth shaft, complete with 2 balls.
What? Anyhow, we've only got a few minutes left, guys. So, I mean, I guess we'll open the floor. How's that? Ask us anything. It can be about the show. It doesn't have to be about the show. It can be, about us. It can be directed to both of us or just one of us. Doesn't matter. Just ask us questions and we'll write them out. What the problem was. And I still keep forgetting to get something. The Jeopardy theme.
Oh.
We still have yet to get that. But we'll wait. We know there's a delay. Either they're thinking or they fell asleep. I don't know. No, peeing in the shower is fantastic. It kind of saves water in a way. And it's actually good to kill athlete's foot. You piss on your own feet. You can actually save time by shitting in the shower, too. You smash that bitch down the drain.
Waffle smash it down.
That one's for you, Matt. Got one for you.
Oh, so yeah, so I'll actually be going to C2E2 next month. Depends on what fandom are you talking about? Are we talking about like comic books or anime or?
Well, we know the reason why you'd go to animes for the anime chicks. That's the only reason why you'd go to that. It has nothing to do with the anime itself.
It's all the chicks cosplay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking in your brain right now, and that's exactly what's going on. As soon as you said it, I'm like, he's thinking anime right now. All right, go ahead.
That's kind of because I got a lot of different fandoms that I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah, but okay, let's narrow it down a little bit for him. Okay?
Yeah, because that's a broad question.
No, I'm gonna say you're going. So, what's your favorite when you're going?
To the one I'm going to next month?
Yes.
So with C2, it's as weird as it sounds. So they actually have classes teach you how to like work with 3D printed props or how to use foam to make props. That's actually what I really like at C2 is all the classes and the community. The community is actually really cool.
Okay, well, I got a question for you then.
What's that?
Who's all going to be there?
Actually, for C2, not much is dropped. There's a lot of wrestlers that are going to be there at C2 this year. Well, Sting's going to be there. That's one I'm kind of big. I'm thinking about going to go see in Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe, I'd go see.
Well, he actually played Sweet Tooth in the Twisted Metal series, and that's actually
that's why I would go see
the
Samoa
big
Joe.
one is go see him,
dude. Okay, I'm gonna put my hat in the ring right now. I want a photo of Twisted Metal with his signature on it. That's what I want.
Sweet Tooth.
Yep, I want Sweet Tooth. Go ahead. What else?
Because, like I said, as far as like big names, they haven't really dropped any. So, Artist Alley is another big one that I like to go to. So,
I'm sorry, I'm dying over here. It went down the wrong way, dude. Oh, fuck, that hurt. So it's not. I mean, is like Bruce Campbell going to be there or anything?
I haven't seen or heard anything.
I still need my Ash signed.
Well, something that was interesting.
Or the dude from Hellraiser. I want the Lament configuration signed by him.
The Fan Expo is dropping guest lists starting next Wednesday, and that's super early for them. So
it's gonna be big.
Expecting it's going to be a big name.
A vendor. What are your very recent favorite albums? I don't really have any. I'm all across the board when it comes to music, so I really don't have a favorite album.
Yeah, and I'm the same way. I really don't have a favorite album either. I just like to listen. I just like the music.
I know I've been listening to Scion the Blade quite a bit. And a couple others, but that's about it. I really don't have a favorite per se, at least not in this decade. I'd say that. Came home drunk one night. Wife was sleeping on the couch. I jumped it, knocked out some. Went to the bathroom. Wife in the hall says, "Shh, Mom is visiting." Oops. I think I'm ahead of Alan by a shot. Damn, she going gangster. She's like, I'm going to run his ass over. I did a Halloween decoration of Pinhead one year. See, there's other things I want from Hellraiser. Matt was nice enough one Christmas to get me the Lament configuration, and it's sitting on my desk, along with my Gremlins. Yes, I got Gremlins, and my favorite Gremlin of all, the one with the popcorn bags on his ears, and I got him sitting on my desk. I've also got the Flasher, but I would kind of like. I want that rug. I showed you the Pinhead rug.
Yes, I remember that.
In fact, before this man met me, it's been that long. I've always had an affinity for a certain type of car, and actually, at one point, we named one of them Hellraiser, and actually had Pinhead on the hood.
Nice.
I had a buddy of mine airbrush Pinhead on the hood, and that hood lasted about 4 weeks. The car got totaled. So, and that hood was made of fiberglass. So, of course, Hellraiser was really just blown to pieces. But it was awesome for the time being. But I would really like to get the rug and maybe the pillow and stuff like that. My wife's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" I was like, "What?" I said, "At least it's not you." I was like, "Well, I was going to get the Terrifier one." And she's like, "What's Terrifier?" I was like, "You don't watch it."
Tell her to watch it.
She'll watch 15 minutes of it, especially when he blows up the bathroom, and that's going to be the end of it. Stripe, yeah. Yeah, Stripe was awesome. Let's see.
So
you're a lightweight for now? Oh, bullshit.
I keep pushing for either C2 or Fan Expo to get Trailer Park Boys.
Yes, please.
Because I've got panels that I can actually push. This is people I want to see. Yeah, I like to see Trailer Park because they do the Fan Expo circuit, but they don't always hit Chicago.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, even I would go up there and see Randy, and of course, one of my favorite characters has passed away. But
yeah,
you know, I'd love to have met Mr. Leahy.
Yeah,
John Dunsworth. I think that would have been awesome. But I would take meeting, you know, Ricky, Julian, and Bubbles. Yeah, I could do that. No, Christina, it was just it was bad timing. She says that's a bad sign. 4 weeks in total. Well, the hood wasn't even clear coated yet. We stuck it on the car. It was a buddy of mine. He was practicing. He wasn't a professional, you know, but he did a damn good job. It looked really good. Just needed clear coated. And I was driving the car actually to work in the winter, and right there underneath of the viaduct by Crown Plaza. Minivan passed me in the snow, spun, and of course, you know, I had to check up. Well, you're checking up in a car that weighs 2,400 pounds with no weight in the front, you know, on sports car tires. And I checked up, and the van still spun around again and hit the nose and spun me around, and I hit that fucking viaduct, just boom, 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 all the way around, ding, 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 in a complete fucking circle. And the worst part was the van hit me twice. But it obliterated the car. So it was done. But I still think I might do that. But people are like, "Oh, you shouldn't do that because, you know, it's like, I'm not a religious person, but I'm a faithful person, but that doesn't mean I'm a fucking Satanist because I like the movie."
Right.
You know? Barn, you're on a roll tonight. Well, Sherman, it's the Grand Prix for me. Matt, if you're going to the Grand Prix, just saying you might want to hook your boy up. Let's see. Well, you know what? I don't see any more questions or anything. So I guess that's going to be it for this night, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Because you keep stretching like you get hemorrhoids.
Well, I'm going through here because I'm trying to.
My butt cheeks.
There was some voice actors that are supposed to be up there from some childhood cartoons.
Well, at least you can. Us poor Americans can't even watch it on TV. We have to get the highlights after the fucking race is done. So there's that. Let's see. I'm going to see what the IndyCar schedule is because I think Sunday is going to be an IndyCar drive. Yep, 24th, the $1 Million Challenge. Let's see. But where's this? Thermal Club. It's going to be at the Thermal Club. Okay. Palm Springs, California. That'll be Sunday. No, sounds like you're going to be busy, Sherman. Truck driving room, my chances of being a pole dancer. I'm sure. I bet that fucked everything up. Well, good luck, Sherman. Go get you as a woman's. But anyhow, guys, I think we're done for tonight. So, as per usual, we appreciate each and every one of you. We like having a conversation with you. Please stick around and tell your friends. Tell those friends to tell 5 friends. Get the word out, like and subscribe and all that jazz. And I guess we'll see you later.
We'll see you next week.
See you guys.
Wop.
We spend our lives left out in the rain as you stand dry behind the window pane. Don't try to understand us, you have no clue. So I took a bat and I broke the glass. You're exclusive but you have no class. Never been first but we're built to last and we're not afraid of you. Born to make you uncomfortable, our hate is unconditional. Coexistence is impossible and we're coming for you. With a black flag coming up in the country. Raise a black flag, pledge allegiance to our roots. With a black flag coming demolition crew. You can spit on me and I'll be back on you. You spend your life sheltered in the shade. We stood in the ruins as the fires blaze. You tried to dull our shine, but we refused. So I took a knife and I made the cut. $1 million smile that you can't stitch up. You're the diamond and we're the rust. Trick it with your silver spoon. We're cussed again, we're flammable. We're feral motherfucking animals. Our fists are up, we're unstoppable, and we got it.